There's always questions. Every time someone brings up LeBron James, somebody brings up Michael Jordan. You bring up Manchester United, somebody brings up Arsenal. Well, for me, I brought up this. Hoka's Skyward X. Someone decided they're gonna bring up this. MagMax. In this video, Hoka Skyward X versus Puma's Mammoth, the MagMax. Let's go. My name is Aubrey. I'm a runner and I'm good with being me. These two shoes are titans. They're giants. The Skyward X and the MagMax. And I needed to make sure I gave you my opinion. People have been asking for this comparison, so let's start. And I always start with the three things that are very objective, not opinions, just facts that you should know. Let's start with the price. A £15 saving because the Hoka Skyward X will set you back £185, whereas you can get the MagMax at £170. 1 point over here, no point. All right, next thing is the weight. 11.8 ounces. Now I say ounces because I'm acknowledging quite a big portion of the audience, the people that watch my videos, are across the pond. So I have to cater to you guys as well. 11.8 ounces, 334 grams versus 11.4 ounces at 324 grams. So that is your lighter shoe. 2-0. All right. This next bit I won't give any points for because it's just for your awareness, but it is the stack heights in these different shoes. That's right, no points here. 48 millimeters at the back. Now that is a lot versus 43 at the front, giving you a 5 mil drop. Whereas this bad boy is a bit of a higher drop because it's 46 at the back and 38 at the front, giving you an 8 millimeter drop. Okay, we're done with the specs, we're done with the numbers. Let's talk about what I like about the different components of these shoes, starting with the heel. The one I prefer is this one here because it's got a bit more of a conventional heel setup, whereas the Skyward X has this fin. This is stuck, it is what it is. Yes, it serves as a heel tab. You can pull that to put the shoe on, but guess what? Within the Puma MagMax, you then have that as an option. It's got a nice message in there, but also you can pull that up and use that as a heel tab. When you're done, push it back down, giving you more of a conventional heel tab. In terms of the structure, the collar itself, both are pretty much the same. The padding is pretty much the same. They both offer very good structure in the back over there. The only reason I kind of chose the MagMax is this thing here. I like it as a heel tab, but I would love to have the option of getting rid of it or having it, which the heel tab here does. And this more lines up to a bit more of a conventional shoe fit in terms of a daily trainer. So for me, my preference has to be the MagMax. Skyward X, you need to fight back, bro. You need to fight back. It's 3-0 now. 3-0 to the MagMax. All right, let's talk about the tongues. It's not gusseted. This is not gusseted at all. Whereas the MagMax actually is. Full gusseting, it's got very good attachment that gives you a fixed position on this tongue. The second thing, now here, this bit is subjective. I like the feel of the tongue here in the MagMax. It's a stretchy material, highly perforated for breathability. But if you're after cushioning and a plush feel, you will prefer this tongue. I just find this to be much more breathable, a bit more engineered to the spec than the Skyward X. So in terms of a tongue, I do prefer that of the MagMax. Now, wait. Before we get to the next bit, I want you to stick around until the end where I tell you what my preferences are, which one you should get. Because there's a plot twist. I'm not going to spoil it, but expect a plot twist. Carry on. The lacing system. This one is clear. The Skyward X. Now let me explain. With the MagMax, it's a standard lacing system. There is nothing here to write poems, songs about. It's a lacing system, it works. It's not a bad one. But within the Skyward X, I want to show you the inside. Here is where you might think the tongue is gusseted, but that bit that fits inside actually pulls from the lacing system. So when you pull the lacing down, the lockdown you're getting is not just from pulling the eyelets, but also the inside system collapses on top of your foot, giving you what feels to me a better lockdown. And that level of attention to detail is why the Skyward X takes this one. Simple as that. Next up, the uppers of these shoes. Two elements to consider here: the look, the aesthetic of the upper, as well as its performance. Let's break it down. The points are gonna be split here. When I look at appearance, just by the look, I'm gonna give it to the Skyward X. Ignore the colorways. I'm not talking about colors, but just the design and the look of that, because color schemes can always change. The reason why I give it to the Skyward X is because that MagMax looks like the standard Puma shoe. It looks like all other shoes within their lineup. It does. Whereas this, I feel like, is a bit more thought out. It's a bit more unique to the Skyward X in terms of the upper. However, the performance of the uppers, I don't find this as breathable as I do with the MagMax. There's a bit more thought in terms of the power tape as well as the perforations, giving you what I feel a much more breathable, but as well as the hold you get within the upper. I do prefer the upper within the MagMax. So they're gonna split points in terms of the upper. Looks wise over here, performance of the upper, I prefer the MagMax. I told you about a plot twist, the midsole. The midsole is what really decides what these shoes are about. So let's break that section down. Now, both these shoes are what they are because of the midsole. I told you about the stack height and the materials within there. We don't need to worry too much about that. I don't really care much for proprietary names, what Puma calls what foam. All I want to highlight here is the Skyward X has an advantage. It simply has a bit more of a well thought out midsole. Let me explain. If you look at these two midsoles, you're gonna see this dig out here. That dig out exposes carbon plating that's in there. Now, when a shoe is high stacked, one way of mitigating instability is introducing a plate. Now, you get to see that plate actually make an appearance on the outside of the midsole, and it wraps this midsole foam very well, giving you that stability. The way Puma has gone around that, if you look top down from the shoe, you're gonna see a much wider base in terms of the midsole. That makes it much more stable. However, whether it's the carbon plate, the midsole within the Skyward X, in my opinion, just performs much better. It has a better feel to it. There's one thing I want to call out, and I want you to pay attention to this. On the inside of the shoe here, where the midsole goes up here, you can actually feel that. And it comes up against the arch of your foot. Not in an uncomfortable way like the Alpha Fly 2 did, but just the way that the midsole comes to your foot. When you compare it with this feels very flat. And so it might be that this is your preference. If you have a flat foot or you prefer one with high arches, you might choose this. But for me, just the feel of the midsoles, the feel of these two shoes on my runs, I have to give it up to the midsole. What Hoka's done to the Skyward X definitely gives it that 1 point. Let's turn around, talk about the outsoles. Which one wins in terms of outsole performance? No one gets points here. I think they're both great. Now, when people review Puma shoes, they usually praise the Puma grip. Now, the Puma grip has earned that praise. It's earned that reputation. But if I'm honest with you, I'd be nitpicking. I don't see any obvious advantage one has over the other. I really don't. What I can tell you is both shoes on the inside here in the middle of the foot have some midsole exposure. Both do. But in terms of the coverage, there. In terms of how they performed in the Puma gripness, I'll be honest with you, there isn't any difference. No obvious winner here. Now, I've given you the specs, we've broken the shoe down, but essentially, which shoe performs best? Combine all the things that I've just said, the feel of actually running in these shoes, which shoe should you get? This is all we came to watch. Despite everything I've just said, despite the points coming here, and you know what? It's not even any bias towards the Hoka brand over this one, no. But just as a shoe, I gravitate towards this shoe much more. It's just much more fun. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the carbon within here. Maybe it's the dugout. Maybe it's how it rebounds. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. I've been objective enough to tell you where this wins. I presented all of the facts. I presented my opinions and my justification. But even despite all of that, which of these two shoes should you get if you've got the money? That's my choice. I prefer Hoka Skyward X. Thank you for checking this comparative video out. I promise you a lot more of these. I haven't done a lot of comparison videos. There'll be much more. If you enjoyed this video, please take a second to subscribe. And if you want to see an in-depth review of all these shoes, I'm going to put the MagMax one at the top over here, and then I'll put the Skyward X video over here. Please check those out too. Next, thank you for checking this out.